Hey guys, welcome to the fourth NxB podcast, our second variation. This is a live one. I'm here with my co-hosts, Classy and Payne. Let's get this started.
What's going on, guys? It's actually just a quick correction there. It's actually our fifth.
I just asked you to.
That's okay. It's late.
Yeah, I just asked you to. Jeez.
Yes, for sure. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, guys. Thank you for having us. Payne here.
Classy here. Thanks for showing up.
All right. So, Noorret, you want to start with the agenda, bro?
Yep. So let's get started with we want to talk about the new Abyss levels and what's going on with Abyss. So, Payne, I know you beat the whole thing, and I'm too lazy to even try. So you could talk about the Abyss.
I can start this off. Okay, so in terms of the Abyss, as you guys are all aware, we had Master Level 2 come out with FG, which was next to near impossible for us to finish. So I think the highest percentage that anyone's gotten so far might be Arms, myself, and Blue, maybe hitting around 78 to 79%. So ideally, we thought Abyss coming out would have been a similar scenario where this was next to impossible. We'll maybe get to like floor 38 or 39. But here we are. We've got a handful, probably more people that have finished it now. And quite honestly, I think it's been the best thing to happen to Tribes from a challenge perspective in a lot of ways. And the reason why I'm saying that is it's now brought the actual tribe specials back to the forefront and the community working together now to finish these 40. So like you guys are aware of my membership program, you guys can see everybody working together to go from 32, which was, in my opinion, the hardest level. And a lot of people now who thought they would never finish 32 are now in 40 trying to finish that off. So in that regard, honestly, guys, I think this is one of the best moves Bandai has made from a challenge perspective because it is beatable and not impossible, but still challenging enough where you care.
I think it's good for the team building and the tribes community because it really makes people look at tribes and like 3-man tribes to see which ones help the most. And it helps because it helps people do a lot of research so we figure out what stuff is viable for the future too.
Yeah. Which tribes have you been finding useful?
Well, I'm trying right now because I've been trying to get my connected feelings to level 28 star. I already got an 8 star and I think I'm on like 17 right now. So all my coins are there. But I have been doing, what is it? The Suigetsu, the Commander Heavy.
Commander Heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for me, I didn't really pull for the units, so I'm not like too into the event right now. Like I'm a little bit lazy about it.
Yeah, I've been too. I know what you mean. Like every reset, I get on a reset and I stare at Abyss. I'm staring at my phone screen and I'm like, should I try? And then I don't do it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why I wanted to embark on this crazy solo project of maxing out every tribe and testing them out. Like I did the first one today with Connected Feelings, and I gave my ratings on the Abyss, and I think it was an A, just because it is a great nuking tribe, but it doesn't do enough for the party. But now I've been falling in love with more and more tribes as I look at them. Like for example, my favorite tribe in the game now is actually the Papa Sasuke, SR Naruto, and the Boruto one, and it does so much for your team. Like it gives you guard rate, it gives you chakra up, I believe it gives you damage rate reduction up for the entire ally group, where Commander Heavy only does it for the 3 units, although those 3 units are almost next to impossible to kill because of the way they're built, right? So honestly, like I think this has been again one of the best things for tribe specials in general and the community to do. So I'm very excited to see what is going to come next, because guys, they've done FG now, and we got Abyss finally, and now I'm wondering, like, is ATB going to be the next difficulty in challenge? Because we know that some of us have, like Syndicate has finished it, like ISC got it to 93%, so people are starting to beat it or getting really close. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you think ATB is going to be the next big release, or are we thinking of a brand new event finally that Bandai will release coming closer to the anniversary?
I think ATB will stay the same because ATB is fun the way it is now. I think it is fun. I don't think it needs to be changed because it is rare. It's like monthly or bi-monthly, whatever they normally. I don't know because we still don't know if it's monthly or bi-monthly.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last one that came out? Exactly, was it less than a month? It's been less than a month, right?
Yeah, it's been less than a month. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see if they actually do release something closer to, because if this one does come out next month, like right on the dot, we're pretty confident that it is a monthly occurrence, and that first one was just a fluke because we got double rewards and they had to fix some bugs, right?
Yeah. I just don't understand why they do the ATB thing where they have a server update during the ATB. They always do that. They always have a server update, and then like the people who pick the latest time always get like screwed up. So it's just weird that they always do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, honestly, like, good for Bandai. I mean, it would have been nice to get a brand new event, but honestly, with the brand new Abyss the way it is, I kind of enjoyed the challenge. And again, it's kind of nice to get members and the community involved and working together and trying to help some F2Ps get to that point. Like, I know I probably 6 F2Ps now that are either at 40 or about to finish 40. So, I mean, hey, you know what? If people are coming up with brand new ideas and teams, that's the whole point of this game, because this further proves now that the older units are not invalid as the new units come out, right? Because I'm watching a lot of old units being utilized because of tribes or because of the compositions of what they provide you in a team. So in that regard, I love what tribes does for the player base. So it makes the OG players feel like we haven't just wasted all of our resources on these old units.
Yeah, there's still a couple units that are a little trash though. There's still
for sure. Absolutely. But you know what? Like, we call Papa Sasuke Papa Trash Can, right? But I mean, he literally is the king of tribes. All the best tribes kind of sit with him.
Yeah, I mean that's they had to give him something, right?
Right. And speaking of him, we're going to be talking about him later, right?
Yeah, I was just going to make a joke, but I'm not going to say it because it might be a spoiler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, moving on to the extra fragment summon that just came out. How did you guys feel? Did you guys actually pull, or you skipped it?
I skipped it.
Now, Class, did you skip because of F2P reasons or because you're close to the Annie? Like, what was the reason for skipping for this?
Yeah, both. And then I think I had both of the units already, so not really any point. And I'm not using them on my team right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware you had Boruto.
I also have them, but I didn't pull because there's no point. It's too close. I legitimately think that after this next server update, we're gonna get blasted away with a bunch of content. I think they're literally gonna go and release everything, before the Annie. I'm hoping, because if they don't, then I'm going to be depressed.
Yeah, honestly, this is where my concern kind of stands with this. Like, March is coming up very, very soon, obviously. We're 24th of January. February is a short month, obviously. It's 28 days. So, I mean, we're closer than ever to the anniversary, and I can almost taste it because I'm like if it's anything like the Rene Festival, it should be technically more. We're going to be in for a ride, right? The only thing I'm always concerned about with gacha games, is sometimes they don't do pre-events for it before anniversaries, and they just wait till the anniversary happens. And I'm really hoping that's not the case with Tribes, because there's a really big lull, and we all expected this. We all expected a really quiet month, just like the holidays are over. In real life, it gets quiet for people. This is what Tribes is now like. So they need to hype this up. And I mean, here's the thing with hyping. I'm not talking about just give us something in game last minute. I'm talking about communicate something out to the public, hey, we're going global, or a new event's coming.
We need another Scuffed Marta announcement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where's Kuo when you need him? Yeah, exactly. Or just Kuo put out a tweet that is cryptic, and we can all just start playing the guessing game again. So
just put out a Shino coin. That's it. Just the image of a Shino coin.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big thing for me with this EF banner. You guys are right, it is skippable, absolutely, and I said that only not because the units are bad or anything. Well, I mean, Naruto UR is kind of outdated now. As for technically his tribes are really not that good anymore. But Boruto has some of the best tribes, well, one of the best tribes, and probably one of the best key units out there.
He hits hard.
He hits freaking hard.
Yeah, he hits hard. Because I leveled him up and I was using him for something, and he was hitting for 1 million plus just randomly. I'm like, I have no scrolls in this guy, and he's hitting for 1 million plus.
Absolutely, and that's what confuses me, because I've seen screenshots of him doing 1.2 million on A units in arena from shout out to Casey on server 1. He's a Boruto simp, and he got him number 1, and he's been just he was showcasing at the time some damage, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? And I realized it's because of his damage increase rate buff that he constantly does on his Jitsu. So I guess it must have gone off once or twice like Minato's would, and at that point I've seen Minato do like 1.6 1.7 million as well. So I mean, these build-up units can do a lot of damage when they're going once or twice or 3 times.
Yeah,
and
he's secretly good.
Yeah, he's underrated again, but he also has use in like PvE, like for ATB and FG sometimes. It depends on who you're going against.
Yeah,
but he has
if it's a D unit, you could definitely if it's a D unit, you could definitely use him. He's really he does a lot of damage, like a lot.
Yeah, and going back to that, actually, sorry, nerd, to cut you off. So going back to the Abyss, I just want to point out, guys, for those that are listening in right now and are using your time to do the Abyss while this is going on, or just doing the Abyss in general, I just want to point out, like, after doing a lot of testing with this new Abyss, we've noticed that the increase of D unit healers and tanks and T units have now risen. The stock has risen substantially in Abyss. Like, A units are now probably not even a concern as much to me anymore. I'm focusing on all my healers and all my tanks now to build those up, because I'm just going to run one tribe, a ton of healers and a ton of tanks, and just make sure my tribe survives and just keep spamming it nonstop. That's essentially what I'm going to do going forward.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the love strat.
It's a lot more variation now. It's so much more variation. Like before all this stuff, like all the team comps were the same. Like you had the center cell was always, Hebi, Kakashi, and then all the damage dealers, and then you would have buff units. But now it's a lot more variation. It's so different now. Like the meta is so different than before.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Also, so what I was trying to say before is that for the 6-month Annie, I think they had a road to, because remember they kept releasing like teasers every week. Yeah. They had a six time teaser, and they would tell us what was going to happen for the Annie. So I really think that because at this next reset, we're going to lose Six Tails, we're going to lose Minato, we're going to lose the EF banner, we're going to lose all that, and I think we're going to lose the extra item.
Yes, that ends on the 30th, I believe, or 31st.
Yeah, we're losing all those things. So I'm guessing this server update, basically the telling point is when they release the server update times and they release how long it takes, that's going to give it away. If it's a long server update, then we're going to get I really hope we get new events and a bunch of new stuff, because it's the Annie. Like they can't let the Rinna Festival be better than the Annie. There's no way.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, there's no way if they let that happen, then I'm just going to sit in my bed and think about the Rinna Festival and the good times we had.
Are you Classy? Are you gonna be doing leaks right away when that stuff comes out?
Yeah, if they actually have it in the open for us to see. Like they've got better at hiding stuff.
Yeah. For sure. Like the I guess this maintenance, the one that came with Minato, the Christmas one, hit a lot of stuff like the six tails that nobody saw in there, right?
Yeah,
nobody saw it.
So just they were already in there.
Yeah, they're so. Can just because this is not something we're actually going to talk about. I'm curious to know, when you guys are data mining, and you might not be the right person to be asking this, because I know MRN. I talk to him all the time, and he tells me everything that goes on. But how did you guys miss that, or did they hide the file somehow?
I think they hid it, and then they when the time came, they just unhid it in the code.
Oh, okay, so you think they hit it as a different item altogether and then open it up? I mean, because they could name that code whatever the hell they want, right?
Yeah.
There's
a lot. Coding is weird. There's so much you could do to hide stuff. So they just probably, they probably were like, I'm tired of people releasing these units. Let's just code this a little better so that it's not as easy to read.
Yeah, exactly.
They could simply do it. Just put a little more effort into it, and that's it. It's easily.
That's it. That's all it takes. And honestly, I really hope they don't hide it, because I mean, I miss my 1 a.m. videos. So it's been a long time since I've had to stay up to actually do anything like that. So I am looking forward to that as well too. So definitely, guys. So yeah, anyone listening to here, we all said, it's a skip banner. Not only because of the anniversary, obviously, but also because Naruto Kage is a little bit older now, and at the same time, Boruto is a great character, but I believe, quite honestly, at this point, and I'm going to say this, I never thought I'd say this, but I would probably imagine that he and Papa Sasuke will come out as a UR banner eventually, as an EF banner, and I would honestly at this point be rolling for Papa Sasuke more than Naruto Kage. And again, you would never have caught me saying this 4 or 5 months ago, But
it's just for longevity for tribes and stuff. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly, and he is hands down the king of tribes at the moment. So yeah, guys, if you were wondering whether to pull, if you missed the video or if you're missing this conversation, we're letting you know this is definitely a skip banner. Of course, because of a lot of free to play players, you guys are aware you need sometimes 20+ K Shino coins, and I think you're what we were saying 15K a month is what you get right now as a free to play player, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's at least a month and a half of savings. So save up for the anniversary, because we're going to get 2 banners at the anniversary because it's a month long, right? So chances are one of those 2 banners are going to be pretty damn OP, and you're going to want to have one of those characters.
My thoughts for the Annie, I think they're going to release, it's going to be kind of like Minato and Six Tails. They might release either a double banner, or they're going to do single banner releases for the whole month. And then I feel like they're going to do like a crazy step up for UR onlys. Hopefully they do that, because I mean, it's the Annie. They need to do something. I don't know. They need to do something new with the summoning, or somehow splitting.
That's what
URs,
I've been saying.
There's too many URs.
Way too many.
You don't want to be pulling Chio on an Annie.
Hey, don't hate on Chio. I'm actually building her, and I'm telling you guys now, ever since they altered her HP healing thing, she's a whole different ball game now. So I'm actually totally about Chio right now, especially for Abyss, specifically for Abyss. But speaking of anniversary and the leading forward to it, and I mentioned this previously, guys. February's coming up very soon. I said my biggest fear, of course, is them not doing anything as a precursor to the anniversary. What are our thoughts here? Are we expecting something big here, or should we be expecting something? How disappointed will we be if it's just business as usual for the whole month of September?
I'll be super disappointed.
Wait, for the whole month of what?
September.
February.
Oh, sorry, February.
Wait,
Jeez, September.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, guys.
Let's go back
I'm in the
time.
future. You're in the past. My bad.
Yeah. How was 2021, by the way? Is it better? Is it better? I don't know. It'll be super disappointing if they don't release anything, or they don't do an announcement like Road to Annie. If they literally ignore it and Annie just comes and they're like, "Congrats, here it is," that'll be very disappointing, because they have such a chance to hype it up right now. Because everyone knows they did a 6 month. Why wouldn't you hype up the 1 year?
Yeah, I feel like this is an opportunity that's too big for them to miss.
Yeah, think about the money.
I mean, okay, so can we talk about the Annie for a sec? So realistically, March was when the actual game came up to the App Store, correct?
I don't remember when I started playing.
So yeah, so I think the way it worked, and guys who are listening in, if you are remembering this, because my memory's shot, being a father and all, I don't remember anything I even ate today. But with that being said, I do recall for some reason the browser version coming up in February and the actual App Store version, the mobile version, coming out in March. So I wonder what they really consider to be the anniversary. Because I do honestly recall February being the time I logged into the browser and actually downloaded this game and got the 3-star Naruto Kage. I was like, oh my god, they're giving away such an OP character, realizing it's the worst character in the game. Yeah, there we go. So thank you, Binato. So beta started end of February. So even if they don't celebrate the anniversary, precursor to the anniversary for March, they should at least celebrate the whole February thing, because it did come out technically in February. I was part of that beta. I remember playing it. So I'm really hoping that the next banners we get are going to be something. So speaking of next banners, thoughts? What are we thinking here as a precursor? I'm thinking personally Mizukage and Onoki, if I remember, the big Mr. Potato Head guy. I think those two are prime candidates to come out because of where we are in the Kage Summit.
I'm going all in on Nagato in his wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah. I really think it's going to be Nagato. It just makes sense at this point, because that's the progression of the show, of what we're because I just started rewatching all of Shippuden, and I'm up to the point where I passed Sublime, I passed the Pain arc, I just saw Jiraiya die, and realistically, it's Nagato. There's nothing else unless they want to release other stuff, but if they're going hype and it's right before Annie, that it doesn't make sense not to release Nagato. I mean, they could just go ahead and release Choji's daughter. Like, watch.
And we talked about this, right? I think the last podcast I mentioned that was one of my predictions. Pain and Nagato with basic attacks would essentially Jutsus would be summoning different versions of Pain. So,
I don't think they're gonna release another UR a Pain of that. What's that name of the what's I'm trying to remember the character that he
Who?
like Pain.
Yahiko?
Yahiko, yeah. I don't think they're gonna release another Yahiko Pain. But I do think Nagato will show up.
Hey, what about?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Classy. Go ahead.
I agree. I feel like Mei and Noki wouldn't be hype enough. Like, I feel like
it would just be skippable.
Yeah, like not too many people like them compared to someone like Nagato. So I feel like they should pick someone who's like pretty popular in order to get hype up.
Yeah, if they release like a UR Nagato and UR Conan, that would be pretty cool.
I don't see another UR Conan coming around, to be honest with you guys. I don't. If they do a she just doesn't. She's irrelevant almost at this point.
Yeah, she's just a plot device in the show at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I'm thinking they'll do somebody like those two is because we're leading closer and closer to the Akatsuki being complete as an ATB. So I'm hoping the next ATB we get is something like the Kage Summit, right, where we have Gaara as an SR, we have A as an SR. We can get the other Kages in there. Hiruzen's technically in here as an SR, so we have Naruto Kage as a UR. So I mean, technically they could do the next ATB as an entire Hokage or Kage, ATB, which would kind of be cool. It would kind of be a different ATB altogether. So I'm hoping that a release of 2 new Kages somewhere in there will prompt ATB to change from Akatsuki to them.
Yeah, that's the thing though. They haven't released enough non-Akatsuki characters to do another ATB for like something completely different. They can. I mean, they could pull it together with other units, but the Akatsuki is still. I think it's going to be the next ATB again, but I do think there's still probably a couple. Like we might see Kisame again one last time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we might
Please.
see. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool because he'd be so cool if they put him in a shark form.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool if they did that too. So we might still see a couple Akatsuki, but I don't think that they're gonna do the nose guy, the nose Kage guy, and Onoki. Yeah,
Onoki.
He's pretty lame. He has a cool jutsu, like he nukes people, but aside from that,
stop hating.
There's
a lot of older people that play this game that look up to the guy. Like he's a spry old man.
Oh. Yeah, but he's the old guy who does damage, and then he's like, "Oh, my aching back! These children! Look at these children!"
Yeah, that's what old people do, man. I'm doing that right now at home all the time. But with that being said, like the guy in Kisame was something I've been predicting for a very, very long time. I'm talking about like months. I literally have an intro ready for like 3 months now, and it hasn't happened. So like I'm curious. Like that would be a very good option because we do need a new guy, in my opinion. And we need a new Kisame for sure, even though Kisame now is actually playing a pretty active role in Abyss for me personally. But yeah, I agree with you. That's it's gotta be one of those hype banners. But here's the problem: like they did this in December, where they brought up hype character after hype character after hype character, and now we're all broke. And to do that again a month later, man, that's gonna be hard on a lot of people.
Yo, they want that bag.
Kisame needs to be redeemed.
No, Kisame 100%. Like they redeemed Sasori, but Kisame definitely deserves to be redeemed for sure.
Yeah, Sasori was in a very, very bad place. Even his picture, his stance, he was all destroyed.
That bro was celebrating 420, man. He was 100% on something in that picture. I was like, who drew this guy? Like, what the heck? But no, I agree. So okay, so I mean, like, so your predictions, guys, are those predictions. Mine are still Mizukage and Onoki, and I'm maybe a new A, and new B maybe. Who knows? I think we kind of need a redemption for B especially, even though A is still a pretty solid unit. I think those are
have data numbers. They probably have data numbers for like how much it sold, like A and B. So if they didn't sell well, I doubt it. I mean, we're definitely going to see B again. B has to come out again, and he's probably going to be with the chakra mode with his A-tails.
Yeah,
we'll definitely see B again. Maybe later on towards the Obito arc, towards the end, we'll see him again. But I don't think we'll see them again, because angry. That's his power. He's angry and fast. And I think he was pretty well done. I like him as a unit. He's pretty well done for who he is. But yeah, definitely Kisame. Kisame is in a sad place too.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Classy, anything else to add to that one?
Yeah, sadly I can't call B underrated because he's just not that good.
You don't like him as a character overall, you mean?
Oh no, the unit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But that's what I mean. Like he's not underrated. Where he's definitely not good. He's just not a good unit overall.
There are some characters that capture the essence of the character, right? Like B's character captures his whole essence really great, but he just sucks as a unit.
Yeah, I agreed totally. And I mean, we'll see what LB4, in my opinion, will do. We know I'm still thinking LB3 is just going to be stats, but when LB4 comes out, I'm curious to see if all of these bag of crap units are going to actually be bag of good units, because like I'm dying to get a brand new third Hokage or a reason to use him and build him, because he's the only one right now besides Zabuza that I'm actually not building, and actually the new Orochimaru. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, so I mean, let's see what happens. We have another 7 days before the banner ends.
No, it was 8 days last time I checked. I don't even. I have it, the game is like I log on, do my dailies, and get off. it's so boring right now. So
yeah,
it's in a couple days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For Kisame, I want a chakra generator, even though I built Sai.
He is a chakra generator right now, is he not?
A better one.
Oh, you want a better? Oh, you want like a trait chakra generator, not a skill chakra generator.
I mean, I want one that's more impactful
Gotcha.
than his.
Gotcha.
His is good, like when you can pick who you're targeting.
Exactly. Agreed.
It's saying 6 days.
6 days.
The store is saying 6 days. Yeah.
So we'll get leaks hopefully within 5 days or so, and we'll find out where exactly. Because I mean, listen, in 5 days, if nothing big comes out after all of the, like we said, all these events are over. The New Year anniversary is over. All the singles are gone. All the doubles are gone, and we're back to literally nothing. So it's a blank slate. Let's just see what Tribes does. Because again, like you guys know since Blazing Shutdown was announced, I've been hyping up Tribes like crazy to a lot of the new people who are going to be moving over, and a lot of people have moved over, and some of them were super excited during Christmas time, but now there's this quiet lull like we've all been knowing about, and a lot of players are just like, this is boring, and I agree with them. So I mean, yeah, definitely this is the time to do it, guys. So fingers crossed, February we see some pretty big events.
Also,
sorry,
I don't think we're gonna get another chakra battery because people are just gonna be sticking both of them.
Absolutely,
in the team.
Absolutely. Have you guys seen 3 Size in JE yet? Have you guys had that?
I have.
It's ridiculous. It's awesome. Everybody just instant jutsus.
For everyone who's here, if every day when you do joint exercise, make sure you stick Sai in there, because if you have more than one Sai,
it stacks.
Jutsu immediately. Yeah, it stacks. It stacks.
Yeah. So
I've done it for a while now, but people don't seem to be doing it. They just don't do it.
Yeah, it looks like server one's been caught on board. Like MRN and I use like Rene, Sai, and somebody else, and we put Rene first, and he just literally blows everything up first round. It's hilarious to watch. So that's kind of the way we've gone with Sai. But yeah, so if another chakra batter comes in, it's definitely game over for a lot of content. Like FG will be a joke at that point. Like everyone will be jutsuing from round one, and how do you not get 100% at that point, right? So yeah, it'll be pretty wild. I think we have something else here, guys. We have the POD, the Discord suggestions, right? And that's my Discord, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna read some suggestions and questions from the subscribers page in your channel. Yeah, so just so people are aware, the way this is working out is I have members on my Discord. Obviously, if you're not aware, you can join the Discord. It is a membership cost, but we have quite a few members, and at certain I've opened the forum to everybody essentially to give us topics. So we're going to do this on a weekly. So these are some of the topics that Noorret's going to read out that some of the members wanted to talk about, as we'll do yours at the end of this event, guys. We're going to do theirs right now. So the first one is, I think we kind of went over it a little bit already, but I'm just going to read it anyways. It says, characters that you would like to see in the next wave of banners and if it is the following arcs for the 5 Kage Summit units. And he said, I would like to see a good UR Mifune.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing that, actually.
We just covered that.
Yeah.
We covered the Kage Summit, yeah. I think we're not gonna get another Sasuke, but I wouldn't be surprised if they give us Akatsuki Sasuke. I wouldn't be surprised because he makes money.
Taka Sasuke?
Yeah, we've been saying
maybe.
Taka Sasuke for a while now. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
he makes money.
He has to.
Yeah.
He also fits the plot arc.
And it's perfect in the storyline, but I can see him coming right after the introduction of Madara and Hashirama's flashback characters, because Toby tells him the story, and then he decides after finding about Itachi that he wants to do the whole Taka thing, right? And he announces Taka. So I think that we're probably going to be seeing a version of Hashirama and Madara from the past, and then we'll see that. I really hope they do bring out that version of those two, not the innocent version, but the friends version rather than the enemy version.
Friendship with Orochimaru ended. Taka is my new best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The following question is: do you think they could add an Uchiha with a stun that was a genjutsu? So they are in a genjutsu and they think they're fighting, but they're standing still. So basically, a new type of stun, kind of like how Shikamaru has his
Shadow Stitch.
Jutsu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us agreed this was what we all wanted the original Itachi to have, right? I think everybody in Discord was like, oh, 100% when he does this Sharingan, he's going to be doing a genjutsu that can stun. I think everybody was on page for that. But then they came out with him just being a straight nuker. So absolutely, I'm really hoping they do have one. But at this point, I don't even know who would have that. I
mean, his move is literally called Tsukuyomi, and in the show they're like, nobody has ever left his Tsukuyomi. How could Sasuke do that?
Yeah,
and they didn't do it, so I don't think they're gonna do it. And maybe, who knows?
You know what would have been cool though, like with that Naruto, like if they the question was a specific different kind of stun. If he'd be able to do that, and you lock the opponent with just like a daze of some sort.
Yeah.
Right. Not a stun.
Or maybe he still attacks, but he only does like his basic attack to a random unit.
Or maybe he attacks his own. Maybe he attacks his own units.
Yeah, kind of like a confused.
Like a confused, right? But right now, confused, you still attack your opponent. This, you actually have the ability to attack your own opponent or your own allies as well.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine hitting that on Six Tails and he jutsus on his.
That's what I mean. Like, imagine how broken that would.
Crazy,
but it wouldn't be like 100% that it hits his allies. Like, it could be random, right? He's just pretty much a berserk mode, and he hits anything and everything that moves. So it can be ally, it can be opponent. So absolutely, I think that would be an awesome game changer. Yeah, and Shisui, people are saying Shisui are saying that.
Itachi.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Madara as well.
Exactly, and I think those are all very good units that can have that. Yeah, so
it could definitely happen.
It could definitely happen, and I think that's like one of those things that, and I don't know if you guys are noting this, but like they're re-kitting everybody now very differently. Like back in the day, it used to be very cookie cutter, right? A units would nuke and they'd have a stun. T units would be like stunners and debuffers and buffers, and D units were just straight tanks and buffing most of the time. Now it's like they've switched the mold a lot, where like A units are still nukers, but they do some debuffs. T units are like debuffs and buffers and nukers now, and then D units are now becoming way more debuffs than anything else.
Yeah. And T units are let down sometimes too.
Yeah. Honestly, some of them are. And again, I will stand by this. After playing with Minato a little bit more in PvE, the man is a beast in PvE. So a lot of people who were hating on him in PvP, I get it. Like PvP's short, but PvE definitely is starting to get better in terms of him. And I think characters are now being geared for PvE, and some are being geared strictly for PvP.
It's better like that.
Because some characters are just way better if you can pick who you're hitting, like who you're targeting with them.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. Agreed. Okay, let's go on to the next question, I guess.
Yeah. Thoughts on a skill for a future D unit that redirects opponents' attacks towards them, kind of like a follow me in Pokemon. It wouldn't affect AoE units, but it would affect single target attacks.
Don't they kind of have that already?
With who?
The counter damage. Is that what he's talking about?
No, what he's talking about is like, for instance, let's say, speed would be another thing for this. So let's say the first unit goes and he does like a jutsu that makes him priority. So let's say you have 3 single target units on
a taunt.
Yeah, like a taunt. Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
And they have to attack him instead of anyone else. Yeah, that would be really cool too. Like D units would be way better, because you could stick a D unit with 2 like really glass cannon shinobis, and that would be great.
Yeah, no,
that would be really good
for sure.
But I don't know who they would do it with though. I can't think of like a shinobi that fits with it.
Yeah, that's
Fits
kind of
with
the
that,
problem,
like,
right?
I
With
don't
all
know.
these moves that people want to come up with and these ideas, you kind of have to look at the whole Naruto universe and see if that even fits in the mold.
Well, maybe White Zetsu, since he's just always dying, maybe, or White Zetsu, maybe, because he is, he just dies all the time.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
White Zetsu is like because there's so many of him. That's like the only person I can think of. I can't think of anybody else.
And I mean, like, even like talking about like revivals, right? Like, I think we talked about revivals quite a bit back when Chio was released, and people were like, oh, maybe that's a concept that could come out, like Edo Tensei, like, or having like a revival of some sort where a character dies, comes back with 1 HP and does like a final thing. Like Hidano's a perfect example of somebody who's immortal that they could have implemented that with, but they never did, right? So like all these new features that people are thinking of, I feel like these are things that should have already come out. And have they really come out with anything new outside of the whole Six Tails getting buffs every turn? I don't think they have, right?
Yeah. They started with Minato, wasn't it? That they started doing debuffs before the attacks.
Yeah, I mean,
thing?
that's existed though already. Like, for example, Sasuke Hebi had increased crit first before doing his jutsu. I mean, that kind of stuff already existed. Just different variations of it existed, right?
Okay.
But nothing like each passing turn you get a buff, which is freaking psychotic, right? I mean, Sai, I guess, was the first one to break the mold where he gave chakra to everybody each turn, even if he wasn't around. But I think Six Tails was the only other one that came out that had that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember much.
Six Tails is kind of nuts though.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys gotten his liver break?
Yeah, I have. I've done so many showcases on his damage. It's been ridiculous. And every piece of content.
Yeah, I just started him like the day ago.
Absolutely. All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one.
Thoughts on? Wait, no, this is the same thing. I think. Okay, what makes a successful alliance? What makes an alliance like ISC or Syndicate a great alliance, and what separates good and bad alliances? What makes a good alliance leader, and what can regular members do to help the alliance?
It's a very good question.
Yeah,
you guys want to start? Actually, Noorret, do you want to start since you're the leader of an alliance?
Yeah, successful alliances. All you got to do is basically communicate, and by communicate, try to get everyone on a Discord or something that isn't in game chat, because it's impossible to get everyone to do everything together, like an ATB or any events for the future together if you're not on Discord, because the in-game chat, there's so much censoring. You gotta sort through everyone's messages. You gotta it's just a mess. And that's basically it. Just working together. It takes everyone to work together and to not have greedy people, because there can be some greedy people that only work for themselves, but you just gotta it's all about, it's luck too. It's not so much making it work, but it is luck on getting good people too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, communication's key, of course. And I'm starting to now notice how much of a big difference same time zones or similar time zones make a difference. So Minato, of course, here is writing in all caps, and he apologized for it. But he did say that Syndicate is all F2P except for 2 people. It's true. Like, so shout out to these guys for having completed ATB, and I know he can attest to this in chat that everyone participated, like every single member participated. So like with ISC, we had like 34 to 38 every time, and we have 48 members, right? So I mean, like, having the time zones and the people available to us would have obviously made that clear happen as well too, but that communication is absolutely key. And of course, time zones, in my opinion, now are starting to make a big difference because of the events that are around. So I think that's a big factor too. And another thing is unity and supporting one another, because I know there's a lot of different people that are part of different Discords and part of different chat groups and all that. At the same time, just remember, like, when you're in an alliance, you kind of owe your allegiance to that alliance as well too. So kind of make that a priority as an in-game thing, and then do your chats elsewhere if you have to. But I think that unity aspect and camaraderie is a huge part that a lot of people unfortunately don't get. Because when you don't show up to an event, or if you're doing other things when people are expecting you to show up, you're kind of letting your whole alliance down. So that I think is a big factor. So time zones to me is a huge one, and also the unity aspect of things.
Yeah, because the time zone thing is correct, because one of the first things I did when I started my alliance is, as people came into the alliance, I ask for every single person's time zone. So every member of my alliance, I know their time zone. So it helps to regulate, like, what times to do the attacks. Like, if anyone works or something like that, they always tell each other. So it really does help knowing time zones.
Yeah, absolutely. Class, you have anything to add to these?
Yeah, I mean, I can
I
answer
like that
the.
yeah.
I can answer the part about like what you can do to contribute if you're not a leader, but basically just making sure you listen to the alliance leaders. Like they could well be younger than you, or you might not think that they are as mature as you are, but you should still listen to them just because that's the only way the alliance will be coordinated. And also playing to your own strengths. Like if you know you can help with something, you should offer it. Like even if you don't get anything in return.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything right now in alliance based is all teamwork. There's nothing for yourself. So like ATB, even if you do like a crazy amount of damage, you're doing it for the collective to get those rewards, right? So it's all about helping each other. So if that's, you got to think about it that way. Like you're not doing this for yourself. Of course you want to do crazy damage, but you're also doing it for those rewards for everyone to get.
Absolutely. Like just an example of ATB, since we're on the topic of that whole thing, like I was doing 94 million damage to units, and I mean we had some people doing only 5 million, but that's irrelevant. That 5 million makes a difference. Rather have the 5 than the 0, right? Because that adds up. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's just having everybody on board and being able to do all that stuff is a huge thing. And yeah, I mean honestly, age doesn't matter. Here's the thing about age. It's funny about video games, and I being 37 now, I think about this a lot. When I see my kid, and I'm just like, wow, you're going to be better than me when you're like 3 years old in video games. Because I'm telling you now, back in the day when you're a kid, your coordination and your concentration for video games was a whole different thing. We're smarter, we're more experienced, but I mean, there's nothing that beats sheer determination and video game screen time at the end of the day. So like, yeah, that whole, like, I agree with you, Classy. Like, don't let age become a factor of why you don't listen. Like there are a lot of leaders who are quote unquote dumbasses and don't deserve to be leaders, and just because they made up a name and spent some Shino coins and recruited people doesn't make them a good leader. But there are a lot of leaders out there who are very good and know their stuff, and they're usually ones that are a part of the community, and and good leaders always delegate. That's a big thing to me. They don't always try to take on everything themselves. They try to have other people help, and they listen into people's advice, because it's those egotistical ones that really let down their alliances.
Yeah, it's teamwork, guys.
Yep.
Remember, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. He did not steal that from somewhere, by the way. That was all Noorret. He made that up.
I wrote it down.
just wrote it down. Use it for another rainy day when we need it again. Okay. Shall we move on? That's it for questions?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep,
Awesome.
We
Okay.
We don't have any more.
And because of how quiet it's been, guys, we're just gonna bring up a hell of a topic. And guys in the audience and people who are listening in, and I say audience like there's someone out here, but people who are listening in, feel free to type this in. But I want to talk about other gacha games and games we're playing currently and that we recommend right now. Like, because Tribes is quiet, and Noorret, you said it perfectly. You log in, do your dailies, you log out, right?
Yeah, it's pretty dead. Yeah, so we're basically right now we're gonna talk about other gacha games and other games you're playing right now, so you guys can give us suggestions right now in the chat of what games you guys are playing, so we can talk about them. Maybe I play them, maybe Payne or Classy plays them.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And also remember, guys, like 3 of us are content creators here as well too, so don't feel like, if there's something you're really passionate about, and we're only covering Tribes right now, all 3 of us are, so if there's something you're really passionate about that you guys want us to see, feel free to let us know, and we will let you know if we've already covered it. I mean, at least I will, and if there is an interest, I may actually pursue something here outside of Tribes as well too, again, and a little more seriously this time. So why don't you guys go ahead and start? What are we thinking here?
I haven't really been playing any gachas right now. Since it's so slow right now, I've been trying to get through my back catalog of PC games. I've just been playing Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2. I haven't even played that yet. I haven't played it yet, man.
It's horse simulator.
It's not.
It basically is. You ride your horse for like hours.
Stop it. When you're done the game, it's a horse simulator, sure. But I know for a fact I have a lot of friends who don't just play that, and they play the online version actually a lot, and they seem to enjoy it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. What about you, Classy? Were you playing anything else?
Wait, you only play one game outside?
Wait, as in Red Dead? Yeah, well, I play League of Legends as well, but I don't like talking about that in public.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just play whatever my friends are playing. We kind of just switch around. So I've played a little bit of everything. And I have also been thinking about trying to do some variety content eventually, in case things get boring. But I can do some listings. So as of right now, probably League and CSGO and Teamfight Tactics.
Oh yeah, Teamfight Tactics. Wait, the door? What door? Karma's talking about a door.
What?
Somebody's talking about the door.
I have no idea what Karma's saying.
What's the door?
I don't know.
I think he's saying there's somebody at your door. You might want to go check. It might be Karma. I don't know if you just made a trip to your door. That's kind of creepy, Karma, bro. I don't know if I agree with that right now.
Whose door? My door?
No, Noorret's door. He just said, he said, laugh my ass off. Someone's at your door. Yeah, so you're playing Leagues and Sorry. What was the other one there? Classy that you're playing?
CSGO and Teamfight Tactics. Which
That's
is also like
CSGO's Counter-Strike, right? Counter-Strike Go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of weird. I don't really play it. I work for an organization. It's like weird. I can explain it in like one sentence. It's just me helping a professional team win against other teams.
Okay, I can see. I know there's a need. It's a very competitive game, so I know there's quite a bit of that kind of stuff going around. Actually, to be honest with you, so I mean, it is. Is it not an esport game still? Like, isn't?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Right. So I mean, there's a lot of competition for that kind of game.
Wait, CS:GO?
Yeah.
CS:GO has a huge community. Benito, get off my roof. Yeah, no, it has a huge community.
All right. So here's a couple of games I'm playing. And okay, when I say I'm playing, guys, you have to realize the word playing is used very loosely here. I'm dabbling in. So I'll actually type it out while I say it. So the first one is Ronin: The Last Samurai.
Oh, okay, good.
This is something you guys can actually find on the App Store. If you are into like old school Bushido Shinobi type games, where it's like extremely difficult and it's a block and attack kind of parrying time things perfectly. It's a great game and it's easy to pick up and put down when you need. And also there's a stamina use system where you can just farm when you're away from your computer, right? So that's actually a pretty fun game. I've actually gone pretty far in it. I'm like on chapter 5 and it's getting extremely difficult. I'm talking about like Dark Souls difficult. So like this game is meant to kind of make you pull your hair. I don't have any, so I mean I have nothing to pull luckily.
Okay.
But you get
eyebrows,
yes, or my beard. So that's game number 1. Another game is Another Eden. If you guys have never heard of Chrono Trigger, it's probably because you're either too young or you've lived under a rock for too long. Chrono Trigger is, my opinion, Square Enix's / Squaresoft back in the days best game ever created. So the producers and the composers of that game went and made a gacha game called Another Eden, which is a single-player role-playing game. Extremely free-to-play friendly, probably one of the best storylines, and they're continuously adding new content to it. So Another Eden is a great pick-up, put-down game where it's not competitive, just extremely good story, great characters, and it is a gacha element to it where you can pull characters. So that's another one that I highly recommend, is really good. I am playing Dragon Ball Legends as I was playing Dokkan. I did whale hardcore on Legends first day. Regret it, obviously, because I don't play it anymore right now. It's just kind of sitting there collecting dust. But I wanted to just be able to pick something else up that was Dragon Ball related. But I still can't seem to get into any of the Dragon Ball games. So that was another one. And I think there's one more that I'm playing. It's called X Heroes Idol Avengers, I think it's called, or something. And it's just another idol game. Cool characters, cool design. And then obviously you guys may have heard this other game called Ninja Tribes. That's about it. So
what's that?
I don't know. Here, I'll put out X Hero Idol Avengers is the other one. I know, Karma. I know. I can't play Dokkan.
I tried not to play that many mobile games because it's, I don't know. It's just like I just feel like I'll get too sucked into it. Plus, I haven't found anything that I do like that Bushido one that you put up. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, but honestly,
I haven't been playing anything.
Yeah,
as much. I mean, I used to play Legends of Runeterra on my phone. It's like a
card
game.
Great game.
Yeah, it is. It's a
which
card game.
Which one was that?
Legends of Runeterra. It's a card game from League of Legends. It's fun. It's a great game.
It is a great game. Yeah. Agreed there. I'm not that into card games right now. Like I was into like I think it was called Shadowverse and Hearthstone for a little while.
Yeah.
Like really good games. And I got into dungeon crawlers a little bit as well too. Like the card ones, the roguelike ones. Where like you so I got into like, honest to God, here's the thing with mobile. It's now taken over the video game industry in my opinion. I don't even touch my PS4 anymore. You know, like sits there and collects dust. So like console games, like I picked up Shinobi Strikers and I started playing it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't do this. There's just too much work involved. I want to just press my screen and call it a day. Like it's gotten to that point now for me.
Yeah, I have my PS4. I think the last thing I played on it was the Spider-Man game. And I still have to play Last of Us 2. I don't know. I think I'm gonna play Last of Us 2 after I beat Red Dead.
Yeah, I haven't played the first one even, to be honest.
Yeah, you should definitely.
No, I know everyone's been telling me.
Last of Us 1 is probably one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, no, and I hear that all the time. I mean, the last, honest to God, PS4 game I played religiously because I'm a huge nerd for Final Fantasy is the remake of Final Fantasy 7, which I, by the way, loved.
Even that was like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great if you love the like Final Fantasy 7. If you love the game, then you'll love Final Fantasy 7. But if you're just picking it up to play an RPG, you're not gonna like it as much.
I guess. Okay. You know what? I can't speak on that because I'm a huge fan of the original, so I'm very biased. So I can't. I don't know that mindset. But if you are one of those people who are not, yes, Persona 5 was. Yes, absolutely one of the greatest RPGs ever made.
Yeah,
agreed.
It still smacks.
Yeah, Dragon Quest, the newest Dragon Quest was one of the greatest RPGs game ever made. Final Fantasy Tactics, like all the new, like I mean, there's so many games out there that are still really good. But again, for gacha games, that's what I'm currently playing.
Six Tails weapon frags, you could get them in boxes now, I believe. They're available. Now. And Minato as well. I think what they're doing with this is for the grind because he's asking the question. Every time they release a new banner, the previous banner's frags become available.
Yes, absolutely. So there was in the live podcast there was mention of you being able to get those fragments before the banner ends. No, that's not true. You have to wait till the banner is over. I just didn't want to say it at the time, but yes, it is a fact. You have to wait till the banner ends to be able to pull the previous banner's weapon fragments.
Yeah, so you can get Minato's and the Fox with the UR boxes.
Yes.
The ones that they gave you free during that event.
And if you use them already. That's right. Yeah. If you use them already, grind. You gotta go through the whole rainbow box or gold box pattern of 5 or 10.
So you gotta save that stamina.
Yeah. Okay, so we're almost in the hour, guys. We're going to go on to the last two things that we wanted to talk about. The spoiler alert now. You have 5 seconds. We will be talking about the brand new Boruto chapter.
That just came out.
Came out. So we're giving you 5 seconds. I'm going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Noorret, go ahead and start.
Okay. How many body parts are we going to take from Sasuke?
The man is a robot. Like, how do you... He didn't even flinch. Can I just say that? He didn't even flinch after that episode. Like, he just covered his eye, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, that was so anticlimactic. Like, when I opened that chapter, I expected a very, very messed up looking Sasuke, or one that was not able to move anymore, that was lying beside Naruto, and we have a fully functional Sasuke without one eye. What is happening?
They just keep nerfing him to the ground. Sasuke's just endlessly getting nerfed.
So is that a fate worse than death?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know at this point. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. And here's the thing. Like, if you guys have read the chapter, and all 3 of us have, first off, what do you guys overall think of the chapter? I think this was a filler chapter, for sure.
Yeah, they didn't show anything. It literally was... The only thing that they showed was that... basically, they showed the next cell for when he got stabbed in the eye, and then Naruto closed his eyes, and that's basically all the development we got.
And Boruto gets rid of Momoshiki in his body.
Yeah. And they tell us that the way to get taken over by the Otozuki is if you're completely out of chakra.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. Everything else was just like kind of filler,
Right.
just for that exposition.
So that was kind of a key element, though, right? Like trying to get Boruto to absorb chakra as Momoshiki to get him back to revive consciousness, which was kind of a key thing because we didn't know that. Like you said, that's a new piece of information. I don't think anybody knew. But do you think they twisted this whole thing around to make it about Naruto so we can forget about Sasuke's whole situation? Like, because he seems to be the one that's in dire need now of help.
It's funny because Sasuke just lost an eye. He doesn't have an arm. And then Boro closes his eyes and he's like, forget about me, guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when did he become the saint of all saints? Like, when does Sasuke become the most caring, selfless individual we've ever met in our life? The man is not there for his family. He is like, you know, he's a war amps war veteran. Like, he's at the point where, like you said, how many more body parts does this man have to lose for him to be useless? And you have someone like Naruto, which we all expected to survive at this point, might not now, right? Because of where we're at. Like, so they kind of, I did not expect this. I didn't expect it to become about Naruto's situation. I really expected this to be about, you know what, Sasuke does one last sacrifice, and here we lose one of the greatest shinobis of all time.
To be honest, this is a reference that not many people are going to catch, but it's a classic movie, and if you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it. Basically, every time Sasuke gets nerfed, or he gets hurt, or he loses something, he just goes, "'Tis but a scratch."
Oh, good.
And he just keeps going. That's from Monty Python's.
I was gonna say it was a
Holy
Monty
Grail,
Python reference. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an old school reference, guys. If you haven't
But
seen
it's
Monty
a great
Python,
movie, though.
It's
It's funny as hell. Still,
classic. I think the main actor from Monty Python died. Did he not?
Yeah, he's the guy who he's Willy Wonka.
That's
the Willy
right.
Wonka
That's
meme.
right. Yes. Rest in
all
peace.
the young generation. The guy who we're talking about. It's the Willy
Not
Wonka
Johnny
meme.
Depp, Willy Wonka.
Yeah, not Johnny Depp. Yeah, not Johnny Depp. The one before him.
Dating ourselves yet again in this podcast. Yes. We will. Classy, I feel bad for you. You're stuck with two old men. Yeah. So do we think this is this? Are we heading to a final conclusion to what happens to Naruto? Are we going back to the beginning of the anime where Kawaki and Boruto were talking about like what happened to Naruto? Is this where we're going, you guys think?
I don't know. Every time I expect something, they just add a filler.
But in the end, nothing was really revealed except very small things.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying like a lot of people are saying that Kurama is gone, like in the chat right now, and I agree. I think that's really
we
where.
Don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's probably where people seem to be thinking is he's losing the Nine Tails. But here's the thing, though: like, do we know what happens to these legendary monsters when they're gone? Like, do they dissipate? They don't appear, or they're gone and they can be resummoned again? Like, what exactly happens here?
I think the next chapter is gonna be all inside of Naruto's mind. Like, you know how he used to have those scenes with him and Kurama? I think the whole next episode is going to be that. Like him and Kurama. Because he closed his eyes, so he's like introspective Naruto now.
Yeah, like we've had in the animes where in his own mind he's talking to him, right? Kind of scenario.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's thank you. So they naturally die and they reform. Exactly. So I'm wondering.
It's like the Ashura and the what's the other brother called? Ashura and
the Sage Brothers?
Yeah. What are they called?
Sure, and I forgot the other guy's name.
The Naruto one.
Yeah.
the not cool one.
Indra?
Indra.
Indra, thank you. Indra, sure, thank you guys. Yes,
the sad
that's
boy.
It. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if he's gone. Like he'll eventually come back.
It will matter because that's his friend. It will matter because it's his friend.
Yeah, and I mean, it does put Naruto back into a very vulnerable state of not being at full power. And I mean, who is he without the Nine Tails? Like, realistically, guys. Like, Naruto's a talented shinobi, we know this, but a lot of everything he does now relies heavily on that chakra.
Yeah. It seems like he solely relies on Kurama's chakra now. That's all he does. I mean, he does fight without it, but every single time he's always in the chakra mode when he needs to use it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where they've been really heavily relying on the storyline is that Naruto relies so much on the Nine Tails chakra, and Sasuke relies so much on his Aijutsus that technology now needs to step in, kind of, because you can see it's almost like watching an old wrestler back in the day use steroids, and that was kind of their go-to, or painkillers, right? And eventually it catches up, and they die at age 50. So it's like, this is kind of the whole concept, I feel like, of the new Boruto technology. Well, not new, it's been the whole concept, is that technology needs to come into place because it's killing these shinobis at such young ages due to war and all these other things and what they're doing to themselves. Technology needs to save them. So it's kind of crazy watching this unfold in that regard.
What if Sasuke gets like a Terminator eye? Tech now. Think about it.
Do you remember Kano?
They have tech now.
Do you remember Kano from Mortal Kombat? Holy crap! Dating myself.
He's just gonna be he's gonna have a jutsu eye now.
He's gonna start doing those rolling moves too. Fuck, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it was nice to kind of see the Boruto come back. Obviously, Kawaki helping out, and the whole understanding. Actually, one kind of cool part that came out of nowhere, in my opinion, was the disappearing Rasengan that he does on Sasuke.
That did nothing.
But he messed up his chest pretty bad. I was like, yo, that looked like it hurt, but. The fact that he said the fact that he said it wasn't like fatal shows that, like, that move is pretty damn powerful when used at full potential.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was Momoshiki too, though, so it was his chakra too.
Right, which he was trying to control, though, right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, they also, we got to think about, they revealed that Kawaki is 80% Otsutsuki now because of of his since he was going to be the next vessel, he was slowly transitioning to becoming an Otsutsuki. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Guys, we're actually at the 1 hour mark, so this pretty much concludes it for our portion. Now, I know, Noorret, we do have a guest coming next week, right?
Yeah, next week's podcast, we have a guest. We're gonna announce it now. It's gonna be Autumn. She was the moderator for the big collab we had 2 weeks ago.
Right, Autumn is part of. So ironically enough, Autumn is part of Mythic as well too. So it's not like we're only choosing Mythic guests, guys. But Autumn actually does represent an important part of Ninja Tribes that we don't, I think, talk too much about, unfortunately, and that is the women. The ladies of Ninja Tribes, right? And we wanted to get a couple of the ladies in here, but due to school and COVID and other situations, we couldn't get all of them in. So Autumn will be representing the female part of Tribes and talking about how, things that ladies have to go through playing video games in general, or Tribes, and just, how it feels to be a woman playing Ninja Tribes in a world of predominantly males. And I mean, like, I check my YouTube stats a lot in terms of like my demographic and gender. I literally have 0.1% women who watch my content, so which I personally would love to change, and I'd like to know, from a female's perspective, how that can happen, number one, and number two, like, why is there such a small amount of ladies playing this game? So very excited for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, guys, that pretty much sums it up. We're not going to do our unit prediction. I mean, we could repeat it because we already kind of did it in the beginning, but that pretty much wraps this up for this live edition. We'll be back next week with a recorded one, though.
Yep. We will take live Q&A, guys. I will say this again, just while I'm here. Thank you to all my members and my moderators. Thank you so much, guys, for the constant support and love. And we're doing wonderful things on that Discord. Shout out to Noorret and Kage8 and Classy and Kage8 as well for coming out and always representing the two of them. Much love to you guys for doing that as well too. Right now, guys, it's open to you guys on the floor. You guys feel free to ask any questions or topics you want us to talk about. We'll give you guys 15 minutes time. We'll give you guys 12 minutes time. We'll end at 10:45.
Yes. Let's see.
If I want the ladies, show your washboard abs in videos. I mean, yeah, I could do that, but I mean, nah, we're good. I feel like I would get banned from YouTube. I've already almost got banned for just talking, let alone showing things. So anybody here have any questions? Anything for Noorret, Classy, and myself? Could be for all three of us. Yeah, you can ask. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Type in wait one more time.
Wait.
Tribes is sausage fest. Nice. Nice. Cute bosses.
Release more Uchiha men. Armaker, like, how many more Uchiha men are you looking for?
Yeah, there's... Which... You got a question from
A freaking Mason, my boy. Honestly, it's up to you, bro. So here's the thing: if you're gonna focus on Minato, Jiraiya, and Naruto, it does a very similar thing. It just does more damage. So I would definitely put in. I would do Boruto, Naruto, Kage, and Trash Can. If you're looking for team buffs, if you're looking for damage though, which has guard rate as well, definitely focus on Minato, Naruto, and Jiraiya. Now Minato, Naruto, Jiraiya will give you more damage also because they're all UR units. So I would say first put them. Unote, I'm not a mod, bro. I don't. Yeah, I'm not a mod.
Yeah, you're gonna have to reach out to somebody from the.
Yeah, I mean, Classy's a mod here, but you guys can talk about that in privately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't just let people back in. You have to reapply to a form.
Pinato, trust me, it's true. I'm not showing my damn abs. Let alone it is Corona time. I don't. They're not as good as they used to be. Where's my shout out? So Lil Online, thank you for jumping on and being an awesome guy. There's your shout out. Let's see.
I was gonna let him keep going because I read all of them, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
Gyro has a good question. How do you guys think they would handle new Rs? So I said this a couple times now, Gyro. So my thing is, for the Rs, I think the best strategy here going forward is to release the brand new Boruto classmates. I think release them as Rs. Like we have the Naruto versions already. Release them as Rs and give them power creep numbers and make them relevant.
And they could also, like, if they're gonna introduce new events or a new type of gameplay in the game, they could also put them in there too. It's just Rs. Don't just give them array as pulls because nobody's going to pull for them. You're gonna need to do some sort of event, whereas people spend money on stamina. That's the only way they're gonna make money on selling Rs is by making it stamina based.
Yep. And honestly, like I kid you not, guys. Like I've got 47,000 speed scrolls. 47,000 speed scrolls right now of Rs sitting there waiting for brand new Rs to come out to increase my speed. Right now, if they were to release Rs, number one, speed would be boosted a hell of a lot more. And secondly, I honestly would build Rs if they have power creep numbers. I really would. I genuinely, with my painful experience, little saga that I have genuinely enjoyed that content a lot more because I love leveling up Rs and SRs. There's something about it. Something gratifying. Like I got up to floor 26 now with 170k power. I think that's pretty damn impressive in Abyss with 170k. At this point, it's just they're mauling me down. But to know that Rs and UR or SRs can be so impactful still makes me very confident that new Rs will eventually come out.
Yeah, they should definitely release R units because it's not even just for the speed. It's just for the fact of there's so many units in the show and in everything that won't be released because they cannot have UR units because they're just not that great. Like imagine like a TR unit of like Ichiruka Ramen, like one of the ramen people shop who just buff like crazy. Like they don't do any damage but they just buff and they're it's stuff like that, like little stuff like that. Or like even maybe Pakun, Kakashi's little dog, as being an R. That'd be great too. Like just little characters that you wouldn't expect to ever be SR or UR but still being in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it would be fun if they made the Rs have like very strange
niche characters. Yeah. It'd be awesome. Like, I would love to have like a full R team of like dumb characters. It's just like the dumbest characters. Like I would totally run that.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, and it's just fan service, right? It doesn't always have to be about OP characters. Like bring out, like what they did with Kakazu and Asuma and Shikamaru. Like Shikamaru was a character that already existed. I mean, bring out a funny character with 3 characters. Like Topi was a great release because a lot of people were like, "What do you mean he's fun to use?" I meant like his animations, like the fact that he's just everything he did was just funny. Like in terms of animation purposes, he was a jokester, he was a jester, and like characters like that always do well. So. Like just bring out characters that people will use them. People will use them 100%.
Our maker, the ninja ostrich, his name is Condor, by the way. So it doesn't make any sense. He's an ostrich called Condor. Real original name, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, but definitely our units. That's where they could get crazy. It's like sometimes they take the game too seriously and they're like, we only want to make money with our units. But come on, release some R units that we can mess around with, and like if you could still make money off them. Think about it. Like if they make an R unit be obtainable by like getting frags off stamina, people will spend money for the stamina frags. Like,
Absolutely.
So like there is a way to monetize that if that's what they're worried about.
Yep. Yeah. I don't even think they worry about that. I think it's just more the fact that it's just they're too focused on OP units right now that they need to get out for keeping the game going, lights on, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody asked me a question. So one of my members here, Dante, thank you so much for asking the question. Such a good guy overall. We've had great chats. He asked me how did my name come about, Painblade. I think I've explained this, but I'll just quickly go over it. It's from my character from my book, Painblade Storm. He's actually the villain in the book. So I've written a novel. I've said this many times already, so I'll make it short. It's on Amazon. You can check it out. But essentially, the name is Painblade Storm, but it never fits in any game, so I always go with Painblade. And it sounds odd and awkward, but it's just fit now, and I've got a channel, so I'm sticking with it. It is what it is. So that is the story.
Omblito. We already talked about who's coming out next. I said Nagato. Pain is thinking Onoki and Mitsukage.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
And then Classy, I don't remember what you said. Go ahead.
Taka Sasuke.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's who we think is coming out. Ramen guy dead in Boruto though? Nah, they don't care about ramen anymore. It's all about the Borgies now. It's all about the burgers now in Boruto.
Which is
they
sad
went
to
to
me,
another
man.
junk food, yeah.
Which is sad. I don't like that. But
yeah. I mean, it sucks, but it makes sense because Naruto's favorite food was ramen, and don't they have like a little arc where like Boruto doesn't like ramen because that's all Naruto eats?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it makes sense because the transition to now, since it's Boruto's show, they got to show what he likes the best.
What a punk.
Yeah.
uh,
Why not both?
Pain a villain to the Ninja Tribes community confirmed. Me a villain? That's weird.
Wait, what?
Why online saying he's a villain?
Why am I a villain?
Because I think he's saying because the character in your book is a villain and your name.
I see
yeah.
the reference. Yes. Technically not because it's not the full name. So, but yeah, it's a good reference. Thank you for that. Now that makes sense.
Yes, the Borgies have taken over the universe.
Yes. All right, guys, we've got 4 more minutes. Shall we talk about anything else, guys? Anything you guys working on? Anything you guys want to promote yourselves?
I literally have nothing right now because the game is so slow right now that I have nothing. I'm sitting here waiting for new units to come out or something. Can you guys post more memes on the Discord, please?
Noorret helped.
That aren't drip. Wait, was that Zal? Was that Zal who posted the stupid drip Itachi?
Yeah,
I was so mad. I was like, oh shit, somebody tagged me. There's a meme for me, and I look at it, and I just disappointment.
He did it just for you.
I know. It was all disappointment.
It was funny, though. It's funny. Actually, a lot of people have been calling you out for that since we talked about it.
It's funny, too, because, wait, was that on the main Discord where they posted something for, what is it? Anime manga spoilers? So they had just opened that chat section up, and I put an image in GIFs as a spoiler, and I put up a drip meme there.
Are you just purposely doing that with drip stuff now?
No, I did it because they pissed me off so much. I put a spoiler in there, and it's just drip Goku.
That's awesome.
So it was a good revenge, you know.
Yep, absolutely. Good way to get back to people who keep talking trash about it. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Classy, anything from your end?
Benito, I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you.
I haven't really found like too much inspiration recently, so I'm just gonna take a break until they release new stuff.
That's fair.
I really do think that we're right around the bend for where we get destroyed with like content. I really do think it's gonna be nuts. Like the whole thing, the whole Annie is gonna be nuts. There's no way they let Runa Festival and the 6th Annie beat the 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it would be very disappointing if they do. So I agree with you. I think we're gonna get pretty bombarded with quite a bit of things to cover. So I hope the inspiration for a lot of you, like Classy, for example, yourself, and honestly, it's crazy hearing that because watching Shiny's video recently about what's next for him and hearing the disappointment in his voice about like how obviously Blazing dying and being his favorite gacha, and the fact that it's just such a dry time for all Naruto games is actually very true. Even for someone like myself who lives and breathes Tribes on a daily because of the videos I make. Don't get me wrong, it has been very difficult to come out with content that is meaningful, even though I'm trying every day and helping people out. It is becoming a lot more difficult to do that. So I can only imagine how hard it is for you guys.
Here's another cheesy quote. It's the calm before the storm.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And we're going to ride that wave when it gets here. But until then, and this is a question to you guys who are listening right now, like the content I'm putting out for you, like, and even with Classy, with anybody else, are you guys enjoying this, or are we missing the mark here? Are there things you guys want to see? Because I get some crazy ludicrous requests. Like I had one recently. Somebody asked me to make an all waifu team. I said, you know what? All right, cool. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do an all waifu team. It's all healers, granted, but you're gonna get one because oddly enough, I'm actually building them all. So like it's one of those things where it's gone to the point where like I'm listening to the community, and it's even hard for the community to come up with stuff. That's bad when the community doesn't know what they want even. So
it's because remember what we spoke about a long time ago, the Rinner withdrawal. This is it.
Yeah, 100%.
This is it.
100%. And not even just that. It's the whole disappointment / excitement of the hype characters that came out.
And on top of that, this last banner wasn't like that crazy too. It was like cool, but then it was like eh.
Yeah. Honestly, if they had done something better with Orochimaru, I would have been a lot more excited because I would have had 2 units to showcase. But I'm actually not even showcasing. No, she is. Binato, she 100% is. Chio is 1,000% in the waifu. She's actually probably going to be my main waifu, to be honest with you. She is like, if you guys ever watch Game of Thrones, she's like that old chick, the one that with the what's her name? She just died recently, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oof.
The IRL actress of
the
Terrell.
Yeah, the Terrell family.
Her last name?
Yeah, what's
the Terrell? The matriarch. I forgot what her name was.
Yeah. So she reminds me of her, and she was a badass. So like that's my Chio right there. So that's
Oleana, something like that.
Olena? No, yeah, something like that. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about either way. So yeah, she's Chio is gonna be like the number one waifu. It'll be Mama Sasuke, Tsunade, the 2 Sakuras will be D version and T version. Karin, unfortunately. And I'm even trying to think. Yeah, it'll be.
Is Orochimaru in your waifu team? Question?
He technically can be, but not yet. No, it'll be the 2 Sarudas, I think, and I'm trying to think who else I would add in there. How many other female characters do we have in there that I'm missing?
Yo, Binato,
10.
Whatever you're sending me, stop.
10, right?
Just sent me Chio in a bikini.
I guess we can do Ino as well too.
Oh gosh,
he just sent me Chio in a bikini.
Yo.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
I'm gonna send it to you guys. You guys have to send.
No, I'm not. I'm blocking you right now. All right, guys, we're a little bit over the time here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, Mama Sakura will definitely be on there. I actually might do both D version and T version, to be honest, because I'm actually starting to like the D version a lot more now because of the team I'm building for Abyss. But anyways, besides the point, we'll talk about it in another video. Guys, thank you so much. Classy, Noorret, as usual. Thank you, gentlemen, for jumping on here with us and doing this together. Everybody watching, listening, etc., thank you so much for joining us as well too. Love you guys for taking the time to do this, and we'll continue doing live feeds every second week. Next week, don't forget, we have Autumn coming on for the Ladies of Tribes, and hopefully that'll be a invigorating talk to hear some other voices besides the 3 of us.
Alrighty, guys, have a good night.
Yeah.